Welcome to TYT Sports, everybody. Ben Mankewicz here. The big story over the weekend, the USA basketball scrimmage and the injury suffered by Paul George of the Indiana Pacers. Let's take a look. Jesus Christ! That was almost too long to look at. So that's what I think is sort of the most interesting part of the story, is that all over ESPN today, all over Deadspin, all over the sports sites, sports radio, the recriminations about it, the notion that should these players, and Paul George about to start a 5-year, $90 million contract, he's the cornerstone of the Pacers franchise. Should these guys be engaged in this kind of play in the offseason, this international play, with the obvious increased risk of injury? And, Derrick Rose of the Bulls, who played brilliantly in that for USA basketball prior to George's injury, showing signs of the slashing explosiveness that we came to expect of him when he was the MVP of the league at 22. 22. I do it like this because perhaps you don't know what 22 means. It's 2 2s. Derrick Rose's injury occurred in the playoffs. And if Paul George's injury had been a torn ACL, sometimes those are difficult to watch a little, but not like this, not like the Kevin Ware type injury that Paul George just suffered. It increases the level of hair pulling. And an ESPN piece today talked, about the hush over the crowd, and they didn't show the replay in the stands, but people started bringing it up on their phones, and then there were shrieks, and the article talked about how people would never forget where they were. A guy broke his ankle, and it was just gruesome to look at. And it's a terrible injury. But it's really no different than any other season-ending injury. And I don't know that I'm not a doctor, I don't know that his road to recovery is going to be more difficult than Derrick Rose. I find it hard to believe that his road to recovery will take 2 years, assuming that he can come back to be the player he once was. And maybe he can't. It's obviously an intensely serious injury. You saw the reaction of the NBA players playing in the scrimmage when it happened. James Harden was the player closest to him, and the look on his face told you everything you needed to know about that injury. Derrick Rose as well, really sort of emotionally moved by what had happened. Kevin Durant looking up to the sky. Obviously this was bad. You always know it's bad, and that's one thing that ESPN article, well, the article was right. It's just weird that because it was gruesome, we're perhaps treating it a little differently than we would if it weren't gruesome, even if the outcome were the same. So here's some tweets around the league from NBA players. LeBron James, he just landed. He says he got a message about Paul George, made me immediately sick to my stomach, praying for you a speedy recovery. Homie. I don't think I could get away with calling Paul George homie. Let's get some more, just keep them coming. Kevin Ware, obviously incredibly relevant what Kevin Ware has to say. Minor setback for a major comeback. PG, Paul George. That's nice. Good tweet, Kevin Ware. Keep them coming. What else we got? Steve Nash, sick to my stomach for Paul George. He's tough as nails, though. He'll be back big time. And there were many more tweets than that, but those were 3 we thought we should share with you.